rise, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
As the chorus goes, morning to you and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Today. Today is Wednesday, the 4th of March, 2026. My name is Pearson Bowen. It's wonderful having you company. Thank you for waking up to keep us company as well. It's always wonderful knowing you are there. And we know you're there because you interact with us, and we thank you for doing so. You've made a decision as well to join us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb. And to all of you who've done so, thanks. Spend the time wisely. Engage with what we do by sending us your comments as you go while you speak among yourselves as well. So to all, thank you. But as I also ask you every day, share the show. Build the community. Let's together engage in what we do Monday to Friday. It's Wednesday. It's the start of rain. I mean, the rains came so early this morning. I absolutely love the rain, as you know, but the dry season will come. And it's at that point that you will be praying for the rain. So do not yourself fret about the rain. Just enjoy it as another season through which you must go. So enjoy the rain. Prepare for the dry season. And of course, if you know of something or someone whose story has to be told, then you have to tell us about it. And you can do so by sending us an email. The email address is right there on your screen. Look at it. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to all of you who do, we say thank you for being a partner in what we do. I did tell you yesterday that 21st of March is World Down Syndrome Day. And so on Friday, the 20th of March, is when I want all of you to rock your socks. So get out now, go to all of the sock stores, wherever you see socks, be very, very colorful. Be very decisive in what you do as well. So Peter's giving me the thumbs up, but he too will be rocking his socks, and I shall be rocking my socks as well. As you know, one of my godchildren has Down syndrome, so I understand what it means to stand in support of those who are living with Down syndrome. So I want us all to rock our socks on Friday, the 20th of March, 2026. Now, the trick to the whole thing is, be creative, don't match. Don't match. Create a conversation, create a story around it. Of course, snap your pictures and send them to us. We'd be happy to share them with the rest of the world as well. So one sock could be green, the other sock could be red, all different shapes, and do you. And in all of your creativity as well, because that's the beauty of the children with Down syndrome. They are so precious. There's a lot we learn from children with Down syndrome. They see the world completely differently from the way that we see it, but they see it in all of its technicolor beauty. And so we want you on Friday, the 20th of March, to rock your socks. It is not a gimmick. It is an expression of your support of those living with Down syndrome. So I thank you already for doing so. Thanks. Now today, though, is World Obesity Day. And on this day, World Obesity Day, we shine the spotlight on one of the most urgent public health concerns and challenges of our times. It's calling for collective action to prevent, manage, and reduce obesity worldwide. This day emphasizes that obesity is not simply about personal choices, but is shaped by health systems, food environments, culture, economics, and access to care. In Barbados and across our region, World Obesity Day is a reminder that tackling obesity is key to reducing non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, heart health, kidney disease, and certain cancers, and that lasting solutions require informed communities, supportive policies, and healthier environments for all. It's a mouthful, I know, but I think you get the idea, don't you? And so here comes today's question of the day. We're asking today, what do you think are what most prevents people from getting screened or seeking early care? What is it that you think that most prevents people from getting screened or seeking early care? Is it the fear of the results? Guilty as charged. The fear of the results. Is it the cost of medical care that prevents you from getting early screening? Is it the lack of information? What information do you need? Just go get screened. Is it time and work commitments? Or is it just cultural stigma? What is it? Do you think that most prevents people from getting screened or seeking early care? Call me now on 228-5562 or 228-5563. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this because it's critical to our discussion this morning. So what are your thoughts? What most prevents you from getting screened or seeking health early care? Is it your fear of the results? I understand that. Trust me, I do. I understand it. But information brings release and relief. And so then you feel so much better once you know what it is exactly. So rather than sit and dwell in your own mind and say, what's going on, why am I feeling this way? Get to know. So fear prevents you from knowing. And so cost of medical care, is that one of your concerns as well that prevents you from seeking early intervention? Is it the lack of information? Is it the time and your work commitments to go seek early intervention? Is it cultural stigma? Think about it and give me a call anytime. You can also post your comments on our social sections on Facebook and YouTube. So coming up today, we want to take a look at colorectal cancer in the Caribbean. I know it's causing great concern, and particularly in Barbados as well. So we'll delve with our professionals into that discussion, but I want to take this call. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson.
And a very good morning to you as well. Who's calling?
It's your good friend.
Which one?
The
Oh, my Trinity girl. Yes. Good morning, Miss Trinidad. How doeth thou today?
Well, it's raining, so I'm happy.
You're my sister. See why you're my sister? Love it. It's raining, so we're both happy. What's your response to this question of the day today?
That's a really good question, but I think what a lot of people do is they run away. When you think you can't get the results you need, that's the problem. You don't want to hear those bad words coming out. A lot of people are just nervous.
Mm-hmm. And that's
so
perhaps
it for me. There are bad results.
That fear keeps us in a place where we don't get help. Do you recognize that as well?
Yes, I think women will move forward. Mostly men, though, will run away from it.
Oh, so it's by gender now. Okay. All right.
Yes, a lot of men, they will sit around and not necessarily find out to the last minute.
Why do you think it is easier for women to go forward to have medical attention?
Because we're emotional beings.
And men are not. That's a logical conclusion. Huh?
Men are from Mars.
Also, Mars is without mind and thoughts and emotions. All right, Miss Trinidad, that's your position here.
No, Mars doesn't go to the doctor.
But Venus does.
Not to make light of it.
Fair enough.
But
I understand you.
I find men are more willing to kind of sit aside with maybe some symptoms. With women, they're more in tune with what's happening with their bodies.
Because men are doers. We do it. We fix it ourselves. And so that's why. So I understand you completely. So I want to thank you, though. Have yourself a great today, okay?
Thank you.
All right, my friend.
Your little crew.
Hear you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I like her bad. 228-5562 or 228-5563. So we're looking at the incidence of colon cancer in the Caribbean because it's an ongoing study because it's causing great concern. We'll talk about that in a moment. James says, I think it's a fear of results. Why, James? He says, because most people don't want to hear those results. But sometimes you want to hear the result because it leads to a solution. Also, cultural stigma, as some of these illnesses people still skin their noses up at. Perhaps that's the case. James, thanks for your comment indeed. Also today, we're looking at renal failure. When it happens, what does one do? And we meet this morning someone who's living with a transplanted kidney. We want to hear her story and a little bit of her journey as well. We're not maliciousing. We just want to know a little bit more so that we're all a lot more informed. We'll also this morning meet a woman who is a stay-at-home mother, but she sees the world through travel. And so she'll join us to tell her story. And before the day is done, there's an initiative being done for young people, and we want to share that with you this morning so that your young person can benefit from what's happening as well. But call me now, 228-5562. Or 228-5563, and let me know your thoughts on our question of the day. What do you think most prevents people from getting screened or seeking early care? Would it be fair? And if it's you, don't be ashamed to say it's me, because I said to you, it's me. It's the fear of the results. I get it. I truly, truly get it. Cost of medical care. Is it that when you get the information, you're concerned about the cost? Is it the lack of information? You're in ignorance, you just don't know, and so therefore you sit and you get sick. Is that it? Is it time and work commitments? You're so, because you don't have the time to get to the doctor to know a little bit more about what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. Is that it for you? Or what else could it possibly be? You think about it. You think about it. Of course, as I always say to you, interrupt me anytime. I'd like to hear your responses to these questions. We'll take a break here, and Morning Barbados continues in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is...
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
13 after the hour now. We've started with a question. I hope we've started you thinking. Thinking because it is important that you spend some time contemplating just what is your position as it relates to your overall health. And since we are talking about colon cancer now, we're talking a whole lot about what you could be experiencing that you just don't even know. And that's why it's critical for you to listen to what we're talking about right now, because we want to look at the incidence of colorectal cancer in Barbados and in the Caribbean, and just in what category we find ourselves and what can we do thereafter. We want solutions too, I know, because I'll help you find the solutions. And so joining me this morning is Dr. Alex Doyle, who's consultant surgeon and medical director of the Caribbean Colon Cancer Initiative. Next to him is Dr. Shabir Sit-John, consultant general and colorectal surgeon at the QEH. Across from me, nearest to him, is Dr. Greg Padmore, consultant. What's that word?
Hepatobiliary.
Thank you so much. Pancreatic surgeon with a surgical oncologist as well. Good to see you as well again. And across from me is Dr. Avellanello Maynard, who is consultant gastroenterologist and head of the GI unit. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Alex, I'll start with you. Paint for me the picture of colorectal cancer in the Caribbean.
Right. So in the Caribbean, we know the incidence is rising for colorectal cancer, and specifically related to Barbados, we rank third highest in terms of incidence and mortality in the PAHO region for colorectal cancer. So that is something that we want to change, and one of the reasons that we actually formed the Caribbean Colon Cancer Initiative, which is a non-profit designed to improve public education surrounding colorectal cancer. That's one of our main goals and why we're here today.
The colon is not something we can see, touch, and feel.
Right.
What is the colon?
So the colon, for all intents and purposes, is what we call the large intestine. So it is the part of the bowel that drapes the outside of the small intestine. And the end part is the rectum, is responsible for producing the feces, which we know colloquially as stool.
All right. And so, Dr. Shabir, how do we know we have a problem?
So we know we have a problem when we have a change in bowel habit, when we have potentially the change in the caliber of the stool, the change in the number of times you go to the bathroom. It might be more or less. It might be a change in shape, and if we see blood or mucus in the stool. But as you were saying before, when we were waiting to come on, you don't want to wait until you have a problem. You want to get screened. And fortunately, you also gave us a little information about polyps before. We want people to go and get screened for colorectal cancer, and if we do find something, we want it to be something early, a small polyp or pimple that we can remove, rather than it being something like a full-blown cancer. Because the alarming trend in Barbados is that when we have people coming with symptoms, quite often it is an advanced process where there's already spread to other organs. And so, yes, we can treat them, but we're not going to preserve life.
When we go, we do what we do, we get up, we flush, and we go.
Yes.
Who looks back?
I'm glad that you remember from last year. So that's one thing we want everyone to do, is to take note. Yes, it's a bit taboo, you don't want to think about it, but it's important. So you should look back and see, is there any change in shape, in bulk, and is there any blood in your stool?
And we should do this every time?
Yes, we should.
At what stage do we begin to do this? Because the child is not going to do it. But, as we grow older, you want us from what age to start looking and paying attention?
I think we should do it even as a child, because all of these non-communicable diseases are linked. Obesity is linked, diabetes, high blood pressure. And we have an alarming trend where people are eating ultra-processed foods, and that is what is linked to colorectal cancer as well. And we are seeing an alarming number of patients under the age of 40. Like, there's a 10% increase in patients under the age of 40. I have actually had people come in their 30s with symptoms and have full-blown cancers. So I think we should start having a conversation about changing what we eat from that age, because you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So we see everybody lining up by the food vans to eat, our pastries and such. We need to be eating more fruits and vegetables that should take up the bulk of your plate, and then a small portion for your carbohydrates and your meats. And we should really not be eating as many ultra-processed foods. So how it comes from the ground, you don't want to alter it too much, get it into your body. From the time it has to go to a factory and be processed and refined, that's not good.
Once it has to go through processes, it's not good.
Yes.
Because it's introducing some other factors into what we're consuming.
Correct.
All right. Dr. Greg, we say to ourselves, I have an upset stomach, perhaps I ate something wrong. Or, for whatever reason, I overate or something, and therefore I'm having a difficulty. Talk to me a little bit about why we should not assume that that is all it is, and why we should take the action.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we all know about the link to ear, right? Everything is ear.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with colonic symptoms, they can be inconsistent. So you might find, for example, you might have some cramps. Again, these are the end of the spectrum we don't really want to be in when you're waiting for symptoms. But for example, blood in the stools, it may not happen with each stool. So you might see it 1 week, ignore it, and then the next time you see it is in a couple of weeks after. And again, the time that you take to actually bring it up, and especially when we look at age, if you're above 40, as for sure, and you start noticing these things, you should really have a consult with your family doctor to see exactly what their opinion would be. But the long and short of it is that you should always be aware of your body, any changes, and not minimize the changes. There's nothing wrong with getting a consultation and getting a healthcare professional's advice, especially when you know you're at the age or close to the age of screening, which is 45 years old.
And so, Dr. Avanello,
Yes.
is it always the stool? because it's a large intestine, I know, but there seems to be such emphasis on that part of the living process. I don't want to keep saying the word, but you get me. Is it there that we begin to see what's going on?
Well, the important thing here, I think, mentioned before, is that you don't want to get to that point. This is a very slow process.
Okay.
From normal to cancer takes 10, 15 years
really?
to pass. And what we're trying to do with this is to try to get people to come early when you don't have symptoms. People say, I feel good. That's when I want you to come to me. Why? Because at that point in time, there's a good chance that if we do want to do screening tests, we can actually find a way of knowing if you do have risks. What is your risk? What am I going to have to worry about in my future? When we look at the numbers, this is something that's affecting people. Yes, a lot of young people are starting to appear. That's why we have dropped the age of screening. But we're also getting people that are planning for retirement, that are retired, that are now being hit with this diagnosis. And we don't want that, because we know that these people, if they had been screened earlier, we can prevent this. So it's not about, just waiting to get all these what we call alarm symptoms. It really is, hey, I'm feeling great. Yearly, go to my doctor to get checked. Part of it is everybody has a colon. Come and get screened, right? How do you want to get this done? Admittedly, yes, it has to do with the stool. There are a lot of new tests coming down the pipeline that involve taking blood tests and that kind of thing. But the gold standard, what we consider the best test for you, it is either doing a colonoscopy, which is directly going into your colon and taking a look. That's considered the best, but we do know that's not for everybody. You talked about fear. There are people that have fear for the tests or fear for the diagnosis. So if that's not for you, you can have that conversation with your physician, and we can, look and see other options, which is, yes, taking a stool test and analyzing it and seeing what risks you have, so that hey, I'm covered if I do the stool test for a year, where I know that I don't have a significant lesion. It doesn't mean you don't have anything, it just means you don't have a significant lesion. And I think what we're trying to do definitely is have people understand that it's not about just waiting for you having those symptoms, because more often than not, at that point in time, it doesn't have to be cancer by all means, but there's other things that can cause problems that you have to get checked.
So those are the things I'm now curious about. What are some of those other things? So if it's not cancer, what are the other things?
No, I mean, anything, generally you shouldn't be bleeding from your rectum. And it doesn't mean, when we start looking in Barbados, we talked about how diet plays a role here. We are seeing increased risks for inflammatory bowel disease, for example, which itself also increases your risk for cancer. But we don't really know. As you said, you can't see it. So because you can't see it, if you have these symptoms, you need to come to your physician so we can do a test and see what's going on, right? Just as one of the things I always tell patients when it comes to this thing of fear, if you're at home in your bed at night and you hear a noise, you can say, well, it's nothing, right? Or you can just get up and go and see what it is. Because at the end of the day, if somebody's trying to break into your house, ignoring it is not going to make them stop, right? Now, if you get up and turn the lights, there's a good chance that person might run off, and you prevent a problem. And that's kind of what we want to do by coming here and having this discussion.
Turn on those lights. Indeed. And so let's talk a little bit now, Dr. Alex, about what you're seeing, because I keep hearing early screening. And what are give me some categories of people who you would suggest engage in early screening.
Right. So those persons that have an increased risk of cancer. So if you had a family history, so a first-degree relative that might have had cancer, inflammatory bowel disease that Dr. Avanello Maynard would have spoken about as well, and if there are any hereditary syndromes within your family. So one of the more popular ones, or more known, would be Lynch syndrome. That is one of the most studied ones. So those persons should get earlier screening. But for the general public, those persons at average risk don't have those type of risk factors, then we would advocate for you to get screening, which starts at the age of 45. And this is based on data that we have, that there are younger persons, like Shabir had alluded to, who are actually coming down with colorectal cancer. And the screening modalities range from the stool-based tests, such as FIT, to the more invasive tests, such as colonoscopy. There's even things like CT colonography that can be done to try to screen for patients. Because as everyone is saying, we want to catch it at an asymptomatic stage. So when you have symptoms, really it's gone too far.
Dr. Greg, access to treatment, though, I'll get to come back to that in just a minute, but access to treatment, because that also causes people to pause. Because they keep thinking, okay, if it's discovered, I have to travel, I have to go elsewhere to... Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so all of us, we work publicly. So in terms of the full spectrum of colorectal cancer, again, we want to pick it up before, but when it does pop up, we do see all the services that we have available, through the hospital. Dr. Maynard is gastroenterologist, Dr. St. John, we all scope St. John and Dr. Maynard at the hospital. This is colonoscopies. And we do find, as Shabir alluded to, a later stage of presentation. So quite often patients come in with stage 3 and 4. That's like stages that have already spread. But even so, treatment is still available. For example, if there's spread to the liver, I do surgery for the liver, for colorectal mets. Again, in patients that are eligible for it, but from a care point of view, it is available publicly. It does have time constraints at times, but there's access to care.
There's access to care. We'll take a break here. When we come back, I'd like to know the incidence of colorectal cancer in women versus men and some of the other things that might very well cause you to bleed in places you don't like. We'll be talking more about this right after this.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences.
For big men, suited indeed. And well suited indeed also to talk about the subject we're talking about today, which is the colon cancer incidence in the Caribbean. This is an initiative to be able to heighten awareness about it as well. The statistics are interesting, alarming perhaps for Barbados and the overall Caribbean, but understanding is what helps us to be able to appreciate what those statistics mean and to take action to address them as well. Dr. St. John, I was asking you in the break, what concerns you most? And you said...
I said just the incidents I'm seeing. So, for example, if we take this week and last week as a snapshot, I would have received 3 new cases from various sources, 2 from Dr. Maynard if he's done a colonoscopy, 1 from a GP who has a CT scan showing advanced disease already. And I said to you, if we were to go on the show yesterday instead of today, I would not have made it, because at that time I was operating on a patient with advanced disease. They were bleeding. It was an emergency, and you don't want to present at that stage, but our commitment is to treat you if and when you do come at that stage, and the access is there. We prioritize cancer cases over most other things, but my concern is that when you're coming that late, more than likely you do have advanced disease. You will need chemotherapy, or you may have to have surgery on your liver, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that I didn't want to know, I'm ignoring the symptoms. Then when I come, it's so advanced, I have to have all of these things. I'm afraid, I don't want to do these things. So that's where we come back to screening. We want people to come before they have symptoms, evaluate your risk, and get tested. And from there then, we find nothing, great. If we find something small, we can remove it at colonoscopy.
And Dr. Albanello, you believe prevention is important, really to focus more on prevention.
So it's 2 parts of it. You know, we're talking a lot about screening, which is important. That's going to reduce the overall, mortality. But the incidence, which Dr. Doyle's talked about, that's going to take a time. That's a generational change, because it does have to do what Dr. St. John spoke about, what we're eating. We have modifiable risk factors, and non-modifiable risk factors. You spoke about men, how they're being affected. Yes, the incidence is higher in men. It is thought that part of it has to do with how we eat. We eat more meat than women. Per se, the meat isn't the problem, but it is the problem. We have to cook this meat. The way we cook this meat can, in our gut, change to become carcinogenic things that can affect our rate of getting these types of cancers. And we are seeing it, as Dr. St. John mentioned, the shift towards our diet, where we're moving away from the fibers, we're moving away from the good gut healthy foods that we need in our diet. That's a very complex thing you spoke about when you spoke about obesity, for example, and the accessibility of food. But we do know that research has told us if you were to eat 3 servings of whole grains, in other words, you eat brown rice, half a cup of brown rice, half a cup of oats, half a cup of lentils, that's going to reduce your risk for colorectal cancer by 17%. It may not seem like, but that's a huge thing in medicine.
I like that.
Huge thing
I'm
in
doing
medicine.
something right then. Go ahead.
Correct. And it's not there's no one click, I do this and it's going to help me. I have patients come to me and say, hey, can I do a colonic lavage or a washout and that's going to help me? No. This is a very slow growing process, and it involves just consistency. You're consistently eating healthy. I'm not going into the whole research of how the microbiome reacts, but we know that there's inflammation in your gut, and this inflammation is causing damage at the cellular level, and that's what's causing these changes. This is what's driving this, and that's the biggest modifiable risk factor. You talk about, lack of exercise, the obesity problem. It's all linked to food. And we do know that food is a complex thing, especially in the Caribbean. But it has a role where we're seeing this shift towards this ultra-processed foods. So this, what's easy, because we're all in a hurry. We have to do this, we have to do the next, and this is convenient. But unfortunately, those changes are now obviously coming to the point that we have to pay the price for these changes.
And that's a hefty price indeed. Dr. Greg, what concerns you most?
For me, it is again the stage that patients come in. But I still would like to highlight that it isn't that cure isn't possible. We just look at what are the likelihood of curing the problem. For example, if patients have spread to the liver, which is a common area for it to spread to, we know that with eligible patients that undergo resection or removal of those tumors from the liver, we actually can improve their 5-year survival by 25% compared to those who are just filtered to chemotherapy alone. So each stage has treatment modalities and options available, but the thing is, the further you go from stage 1 to the end, which is 4, your cure rate gets less and less, but treatment is still available.
Dr. Alice, I saw you nodding your head while you were listening as well, but this is all part of the initiative that you're undertaking. Talk to me a little bit more about what else is the Caribbean Colon Cancer Initiative engaged to do and will be doing.
Right, so part of what we're doing here this morning is public education, and that's one of the main goals for this month, is that we want to increase the conversation surrounding colorectal cancer. So during this month we have a series of activities designed to increase some public awareness. So we have an open day at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in conjunction with the gastrointestinal unit, which does colonoscopies. That's supposed to be happening on the 6th of March.
Okay, today's the 4th.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we also have then some other public engagements. So we're having a colon cancer walk that is supposed to be on March 22nd, and we're also having a football match on the 29th of March. Throughout the month also we're having some engagements. So this afternoon we're actually having a Zoom session with persons from BARP. So I invite all persons to try to log into that Zoom session so we can be more interactive and actually engage with the public to try to get out the discussion about colorectal cancer. Because I think the discussions that we're having this morning, though brief, needs to be a wider national discussion about cancer in general and how we manage cancer. So screening and the different modalities that we've talked about is not just a test, but it's actually a system. We have to look at the systems that we have designed surrounding the treatment of cancer in general, colorectal cancer specifically, and that is some of the work that we're looking to do in the Caribbean Colon Cancer Initiative. So I invite the public to join us in some of these initiatives, and you may hear more initiatives coming out throughout the year.
The open day is Friday.
It's Friday.
At the Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
The Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
What floor are we on?
It's on the ground floor.
The ground floor. Okay, just want to make sure.
So it's accessible to most persons.
Exactly. And what time does that start?
I think it starts at 10 a.m.
On your screen, folks, you can see some of the activities we've just been talking about, which is the open day this coming Friday from 10 till 2 at the QE. And then in Golden Square, there's a health fair on the 13th of the month. That's the following Friday. And then, of course, we want you to come be a part of that colon cancer awareness walk on the 22nd. That starts at 4. And that's a walk that is, you just show up.
You show up, you can register, and then it's a 5K. And then we'll share some information about colorectal cancer. But as they say, we want to paint the country blue for colorectal cancer.
You got that right. We painted this country blue indeed. And so do we need to register? How do we register?
Golden Square, you can just show up at Golden Square and register there.
Register right there and then. Put the calendar again for me. I just want to talk a little bit more about that, because that's important for all of us as we paint this country blue to be a part of that colon cancer awareness walk. Numbers mean a lot. It sends a very powerful message. And so you may have someone who is living with colon cancer or has experienced colon cancer. You might be part of that number of people who are at risk or at high risk. And so your support and your showing up is very, very important to be a part of the process as well. And so I want to encourage all of you to be a part of all of the activities this month. Get to know more. Join the conversation. Be a part of it indeed. And so let's screen to save lives today. Let's begin our screening process. Remember, if you're at increased risk because you have a family history, polyps or lifestyle risks, and you're at high risk if you have genetic syndromes or strong family history. Many of us know the stories. Many of us have not been told the stories, but over time we got to hear, oh, granddad, grandmom died from. And now we have to take some strong action by being screened today. Screening is very, very accessible. It's very affordable. Treatment options are available in Barbados. And together with all of these and increased knowledge and responsibility, we can reduce the incidence of colon cancer or people dying from colon cancer in Barbados. There's a lot. Get to know more, get involved, get engaged in this month of March. Gentlemen, thank you. Doctors all.
Thank you.
That's the best way to say to all of you. Thank you so much, and I wish you well with your continued advocacy in raising the information around colon cancer and why it's important that we take care. Those preventative measures are important, and the treatment options are also important. And we thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're back in a moment.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we...
All right, we're talking kidney health right now. We're joined by the members of the Barbados Kidney Association, their president in City and Cisnet, and Christine Wellington Moore, who is a council member. To you ladies, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
But I love your story because you look at these folks, right, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, they're probably relatives of people who have had kidney failure. You say no, City Ann?
Absolutely not.
Talk to me.
The Barbados Kidney Association is all about providing support to persons living with kidney disease on dialysis and who have had transplants as well, and their families. Yeah?
And therefore you are?
I am a transplant recipient. My brother was my donor, and so is Christine.
Yes, Christine. Yeah. And I said to them when they started to share that with me, I said, you guys are fantastic.
Thank you.
And you said to me it was a 180 turnaround.
Complete turnaround. Well, you live in your life, you're diagnosed with kidney disease, and you progress to stage 5, which is end-stage renal failure, and you go on dialysis. Now that is another 180 turn to start with. Your life becomes extremely different. On dialysis, for hemodialysis, it's 3 times a week at SILS or the QEH, and for peritoneal dialysis, it's a home therapy that happens every night from 8 to 10 hours. So your social life is significantly reduced. Your health is reduced, of course, because you have renal failure, and your time is taken up with dialysis. You're constantly tired. You have swollen feet and hands. You have pain in your back. Sometimes the tiredness is so much you can't even brush your teeth. Because the kidneys help to make red blood cells. So you're constantly tired. So transplantation then, after that, after experiencing that, and for some persons it's a little bit of time, for me it was a year, and for others it's years, 10, sometimes 20 years, and you have a transplant and your life is suddenly back to what it was before, and yet another significant turnaround and change in your own life. It's amazing. And
you've seen that turnaround in yourself, in the way you look.
In the way I look, the way I feel. You actually, your fertility also decreases on kidney disease and dialysis. So most persons aren't able to have children, and we are seeing younger and younger persons coming on dialysis. After a transplant, I have a 2-year-old.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Does dialysis continue after transplantation?
Absolutely not.
Life goes back to
Absolutely
without.
not. Well, I should say once your kidney transplant takes, once your transplant takes, because unfortunately in some persons it might not. At the hospital you wait, the doctors wait and the nurses wait to ensure that the kidney is working well, you're producing urine, because persons with kidney disease and on dialysis, they don't urinate. So you can imagine going a whole day and not having to go to the bathroom.
Don't start me imagining that. I can't imagine somebody sitting here having to go to the bathroom. But Christine, is your story similar?
Yes, somewhat. Well, I actually got diagnosed when I was living in America. I used to travel a lot for work. And honestly, I didn't think about having kidney disease. I had my daughter, and I assumed I was just gaining weight afterward. But I had a number of things. I noticed that in America, I was allergic to almost all the foods. I was living in DC, I was allergic to a lot of the pollen. My whole immune system was just off. And as I said, I'd had a daughter. And afterward, at first I lost all the weight, and then it started to come on, and I thought, well, you just, you know. And then I noticed this swelling, and I remember I had traveled to, I'd done a trip to Mexico, so it wasn't that long of a flight, but I started to bleed through my skin.
Whoa.
My legs got so swollen on the plane. I started to bleed through my skin. I had never seen anything like this. So I was like, what is going on? And it turned out that, well, they started to figure out something was wrong, obviously. But more than that, we started to piece together a lot of things. They said it looked like they thought I maybe had lupus, so something was attacking the kidneys. Then they realized that a lot of the medications, standard medications that they were giving me for the allergies, they'd given me the wrong dosage.
Wow.
So it destroyed my kidneys. And that's another thing we should say. People take medications for all kinds of things. But understand that every medication you take is either your liver or your kidneys or both that have to process it. So if you have a predisposition you don't know about, which is obviously what I had, the number of assaults I was having, plus having children, strains your kidneys. So I then, it just progressed. And they said when they did a biopsy, it looked like my kidneys were being slowly poisoned. That's what they said. Fast forward though, I have not been tested as yet, but we also know there's something called the APO1 gene, which is prominent in people of African descent. And when I have looked at the symptoms of people that get it, have kidney disease, but also have been screened and have this. A lot of the things I had is specific, I don't want to get too technical, but there's a glomerulus, there's this filter mechanism in the kidney. There's a particular way that it atrophies, and I know they told me I had that. They thought I had lupus. That's another thing that tends to happen. So there's an aspect too, I think, as we're coming to talk about kidney disease in Barbados. There have been studies done on Nigeria and in Ghana. And a lot of the population has this gene. It was good for when people have sleeping sickness and those things. But most Barbadians are Ghanaian and Nigerian descent. So you have to wonder now, I mean, I'm actually interested in going to get screened because I have a daughter. Is this the connection? It predisposes you now in these modern times with all the assaults on our systems, the foods and all these different things. Maybe that's it, I don't know. But mine was that journey, and then I ended up realizing that America was literally killing me. Every time I came home, my symptoms would be a little bit better. But living in America wasn't working. And then I moved to Thailand, and it was actually somewhat better. But then I unfortunately came home, I had another assault, which was a fire, and the air was horrible. And that killed finished all function. And then my sister.
One kidney or both?
Both.
Wow.
Just killed everything. And so I was sitting in Thailand just trying dialysis, but it really didn't work on me. Dialysis usually causes, a lot of low blood pressure and stuff. Mine was the opposite. It caused my blood pressure to spike. It wasn't taking off any water. And I had resigned myself, to be quite honest. I was kind of like, it's been a good run.
Yes.
I was very calm. I was like, well, okay, And then my mother, bless her, she's now passed, she was, sitting in Barbados knowing what was going on. And my younger sister, my siblings all wanted were worried, but my youngest sister and I are particularly close. We're closer in age. And as it was told to me, my mother looked and saw her freaking out in Barbados because I wouldn't ask for kidney. And I was like, I'm not asking anybody for kidney.
Yes.
So she was like, oh, forget this. So she just took my sister, flew her to Thailand, and I got a kidney. Changed my life. Changed my life. About 9 extra years of life that I would not have had.
Wow, well done. And so, as Christine just said, Sadie, and you're looking at the incidence of kidney disease in Barbados and how people are responding. What are you finding out so far?
That not a lot of persons know their status. I know we talk a lot about HIV status and that kind of thing. Know your kidney status, where you are. Get your kidney function test done. The same as you would be advised to get an annual physical every year. Get a kidney function test every year. See where you are in terms of your stages from stage 1 to stage 5. And stage 5 is end-stage renal failure, where you end up on dialysis. Stage 1 and 2, I find in Barbados and the Caribbean, are majority are largely, I would say, related to lifestyle. So diet and that kind of thing. So diabetes, hypertension, main causes of kidney disease in Barbados and the Caribbean, and a lot of it is by lifestyle. Your food that you eat, the fried food, and not drinking enough water in this hot, humid climate.
Or getting the exercise that you need.
Getting the exercise that you need.
Stress, the environment also plays a factor.
Very much so. Very much so. So get your kidney function test done. Know where you are. And if you're early enough, it can be reversed if it is lifestyle changes. Now, there are persons who have it genetically. Polycystic kidney disease, can't do anything about that. There are persons who get it from types of infection or even drugs, as Christine was saying. Not a lot you can do about that. But your lifestyle, that can be changed for sure to bring you back, because we don't want to end up on dialysis. The QEH is at capacity. Really and truly, SILS is almost there, I believe, because people are referred from AKU, the artificial kidney unit, at the QEH to SILS. So we don't want that. We want to actually reverse those numbers. And to do that, we are imploring the government to pass a human tissue transplant bill, because that's where persons will be able to get a deceased donor kidney. Right now at the QEH, we have a transplantation program, live donor. That's how I got my kidney from my brother.
Yes.
Live donor transplant. But the human tissue transplant bill, as we have seen it in Trinidad and Jamaica and some of our other sister islands, you can get a deceased donor kidney. So you would take a lot of persons off of dialysis, reduce the load on the government. That is, it's about $60,000 per person per year for dialysis. For transplant, $20,000.
And so this advocacy to have this bill, what are you doing to raise that awareness and to really fight for it to be done?
This.
Okay.
Things like this. Things like our walk. We have World Kidney Day and the World Kidney Week in Barbados coming up, and we have a walk on Sunday afternoon at 3 in Whole Town. Come out, learn about kidney disease, have kidney awareness. We have even Italia Coffee is one of our partners this year. We have quite a lot of partners. Williams Industries, the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust is one of our sponsors as well. And we're just encouraging persons to come out, join our activities. You can find us on Facebook at the Barbados Kidney Association, and on Instagram and IG at Barbados Kidney. So come out, see what we're doing, learn, know your kidney status. Forlum.org, Forlum Foundation, free kidney test, free kidney function test.
Yes.
Make an appointment online or call.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. Make the appointment.
Make the appointment, yes. Make the appointment online. No, make the appointment online and go get your kidneys tested.
Right. The kidney test is not invasive. I've had to do it myself, and it's really quite painless. Actually, there's no pain at all to check your kidney function.
Correct.
And I really want people to take this so seriously indeed, because you'll have to live with your kidneys. Your kidneys have to flush and purify the blood for continued work, but it also produces the urine that goes through your bladder for release and so forth. And when it's not functioning right, it creates a myriad of other problems within the whole circulatory situation.
Yes. Yep.
You were saying?
Yeah, no, I was agreeing with you. That's definitely for sure. everybody has a kidney. That's what our association is about. Everybody needs a kidney, at least one. So we have to live with our kidneys. As you said, they flush the body, so we have to take care of them. Drinking water is essential, essential. So I just want persons to understand the importance of the kidney. Yeah?
You said, Christine, that more and more young people are showing up
Yes.
for assistance in this and showing up with renal failure, whether it's at stage 1 or end stage. What's the ratio of women to men and that kind of thing? What are you seeing?
Well, I have not seen a breakdown, honestly, of the ratio of men to women in Barbados. I haven't seen that breakdown, so I don't want to speak out of turn. But I can tell you that there's some young researchers here in the island. And the numbers we've been seeing mostly is that we're seeing like 20 to 30,000 people showing up, being tested and showing up with some form of the disease, 1 to 5. So it's about 13.3% of the population so far is showing some signs of deterioration. And of that, I think it's about 350 plus people a year who are ripe for dialysis. Dialysis numbers in 2023 was 291 people. It's now over 400. And initially, when you were looking at these numbers, when they were looking in 2023, they were thinking, okay, maybe we'll see, over 5 years, maybe a 10% increase. That's not what we're seeing. It's more. So you try to think then, well, is it maybe because more people are being tested, this is the number? The problem is the dialysis number, because the dialysis number is going up. And you can't miss when you're in stage 5. You really can't miss that. So it can't be accounted just for more testing. Something is going on. And the thing is that the more you read, and there are many doctors at the hospital who are working really hard on this issue, but there needs to be space for research. Partnering, whether it's, and one of the things that we're beginning to explore in the Kidney Association is also realizing that data is everything. And a lot of the data is actually hidden in places you might not think. So for example, private sector has HR. You would see from their records how many people are going home, how many people can't work full time. That would help us with the ratios, right? Because who turns up, as you started this whole morning going about who turns up for testing, etc. like that, and things like that. So imagine now you actually could get, let's say, HR records. We can combine that with some hospital records, and you start to see a picture. When is this starting? We know you're seeing younger and younger people turning up, but we don't have a proper picture. We also need to do some correlations. We could see from the earlier discussion, for example, obesity, we know hypertension and all of these things, but there's a feedback loop on that. Kidneys also regulate all of your hormones.
Yes.
All. So your kidney disease could drive hypertension. So which is first, the chicken or the egg? So there are also other things that people may be going to get treated for, but because they aren't doing kidney testing, you don't know that that's what's actually problem. So you're treating a symptom, you're not treating the problem. So, and then there's also things that you see in other places. We've had little preliminary talks with, places like Paho and looking at data. And you can look at the region and you see anecdotally, because we don't have the numbers, but we can tell when you look at the places with the highest degrees of disease, they also tend to have a very big agricultural export thing where there are a lot of pesticides used. There are people, some researchers also argue about cooking oils, the type of oils we use, the artificial oils.
So there are lots of things that we need to change.
So many things we need to change.
But we start with testing.
We start to
see, and then we go from there. Let's we look again, quickly say them, because time is ticking away so quickly, at the list of activities you have coming up. I know today you're with us.
Yes.
On the 8th, you're having a church service at the St. Cyprian's Anglican at 8 o'clock. We want all of you, whether you are at any stage of renal failure, to show up. You're a relative of someone who's living with, show up. In showing up, you're again showing support.
Correct.
And also on the 8th, you're having that kidney walk from Beachlands to Folkestone.
That is correct.
And that starts at 3 in the afternoon. You're meeting just at Just Grilling in Hold Down.
Yes, and we're going with the Coastal Zone Management Unit.
Yes.
So for those of you who know about CZMU, they do fantastic walks.
Yes.
The information is fantastic because the theme for World Kidney Day this year has to do with caring for our planet.
Right.
So we partner with Coastal Zone Management Unit, and we have a lovely walk planned for you. Nice stroll along the boardwalk. Listen to us talk about kidney disease.
And exercise is important.
Exactly.
And that's exercise indeed.
Yes.
And so go online, go to the Barbados Kidney Association on their socials, and you will see the form that you need to register for.
Yep.
And then next week, Wednesday, you're continuing a whole host of things, but all of the activities are on your socials.
On the
and we can
socials,
see.
yes.
It's a whole month. It's a whole month dedicated to all of this. There's a webinar coming up on the 11th,
on the
which
11th.
is next Wednesday, and you need to log in for this webinar. Look at your screen, screenshot it, get ready to be a part of it as well. It's critical that we join the Barbados Kidney Association in this webinar next week, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sadie Ann, and thank you, Christine, as
Thank
well,
you.
for sharing your story and sharing the great work that you do as an association as well. There's too many Barbadians who have renal failure at any stage, and so
any stage.
it's expensive.
Get tested.
Yes.
Get tested. That's
Get
the message you want to put out.
All right, we got it. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're coming back in just a moment.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount. Sponsored by Get Healthy.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at the news now. A parent who goes to a school and causes a disturbance or assaults a teacher could be facing a maximum fine of $5,000. That's according to Chief Education Officer Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw. She says this is being done and proposed in Cap 41, Section 64 of the Education Act, which is under review. Dr. Archer Bradshaw says at present the fine for such an offense is $500. But she says the increased fine is to deal with parents who think that they can go to schools and behave however they can.
We have proposed that if a parent or anybody goes on the school compound and assaults a teacher or assaults a pupil or causes a disturbance, that instead of the $500, they will have to pay $5,000. That's the proposal. Of course, we have to meet with the unions and, the parents and other stakeholders. We have to engage in a lot of discussion before it's finalized. But we wanted to put a sum there, a sum of money that will scare people so that when the police service comes and the person is charged, they have to look for some large amount of money to fork out and not just $500.
Dr. Archer Bradshaw adds that Commissioner of Police Richard Boyce has also shared with the ministry that lawmen will assist with enforcing the law.
The Ministry of Education Transformation has a zero tolerance policy when it comes to parents going on school compounds, or anybody for that matter, and behaving in that kind of disrespectful way. The schools are institutions of learning, and this is not only formal learning, but children watch the behaviors of teachers and parents and others, and we don't want that kind of behavior in our schools at all.
Ministry is reporting a reduction in weapons being found in schools. This is the Deputy Chief Education Officer, Julia Beckles, indicate that violent acts in schools with weapons are on the decline. She says these searches are conducted at different times of the day in light of the fact that students are known to be crafty and hide weapons.
We've had reported last year, we had 12 such reports. At this point in time, we are at 2, and we are hoping that it will remain that way. The member for the honorable member for the city spoke about violence on teachers. Today, we have 1 such case reported. Sadly, we don't want to hear of any at all, because we don't expect that teachers or any member of staff will go to work and end up having violence inflicted on them.
And the Deputy Chief admits that unfortunately some students find a way to access weapons off the school plant.
The unfortunate thing, though, is that while students understand that they cannot bring the weapons onto the compounds, some of them have been stashing them elsewhere. Now, this is where, according to our minister, this is an all-of-country approach, because our principals and their teams are doing their best to keep our schools safe. So while you are in school and you recognize that at any time there can be a search, that in itself is a deterrent.
It will soon be compulsory for all secondary school students to be involved in an extracurricular activity. Minister of Educational Transformation, Chad Blackman, says this new rule will take effect when the new academic term begins. He says this is an effort to help address concerns regarding behavioral issues among school children through building character and resilience in a structured way.
For the first time coming September, we're having a situation where our students in secondary school must be involved in either a uniform activity, so a club, a service club, or a sporting team. And once it takes shape, the idea therefore is that you influence their behavior because, one, there's structure. Our young people, irrespective of their background, their family circumstance, and pressures that come to bear, all have talents that we must now unleash and to shape them and to give them the opportunity. And that is why that intervention is so key, and that is one of the things that we are rolling out once again for the benefit of the country. All students in secondary schools will now have to be involved in either a uniform activity in our schools, a sporting club, or a service club.
Well, staying with education, they're rolling out a universal pre-primary education as part of the Education Transformation Agenda. It is offering access to all 3- and 5-year-olds to be enrolled in schools. Senior Education Officer with responsibility for nursery and primary, Dr. Christina Morris, gave details on the project. Anesta Henry reports.
Some 2,032 children who will reach the age of 3 by September 1st will be eligible to start nursery school. That's according to Senior Education Officer Dr. Christina Morris. She confirmed that to date, 1,711 spaces are available at nursery and primary schools for the newcomers. However, that number could change because the ministry will have additional data regarding the availability of spaces by Friday.
We have targeted our early childhood coordinators who have responsibility for working with their principals to lead and build out early childhood pedagogy. The first cohort of training started in November, and we are continuing with that training from tomorrow. 79 early childhood coordinators are being exposed to the training.
Some of the schools have to be upgraded and equipped with the appropriate furniture to meet the needs of the 3-year-olds.
We will have, as necessary, some upgrades to bathroom facilities to ensure that we have the requisite number and type of toilets for our very young ones. We're also looking at our outdoor play spaces, and we do intend and will be working to build out those outdoor spaces as we provide equipment that is appropriate for our very young ones to build on their motor skills. And as you know, while they are doing that, it provides ample opportunity for them to strengthen their social and emotional skills as well as they negotiate with each other and as they engage in play.
As the Ministry of Education Transformation rolls out this initiative, it will be embarking on a public relations campaign to encourage parents to register their children with the ministry to allow them to access early quality childhood learning.
We are ready. We have the access. We have a cadre of trained, qualified teachers.
And Dr. Morris says new furniture will be distributed to the various schools and upgrades will be completed by the end of July to allow schools to welcome the newcomers by the start of the academic year. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
A St. Michael man who appeared in court yesterday has been remanded to Barbados Prison Service Dodds. Dario Theo Mitchell of Culloden Road, Charleston Gardens, was not required to plead for 4 indictable offenses, including the use of a firearm. He's been charged with the murder of 44-year-old Dwayne Ryan Omar Caesar of Calendars Gardens, Christchurch. Caesar was murdered on the 21st of January at Pegwell Boggs. Mitchell has also been accused of 2 counts of endangering life, the unlawful use of a firearm at the same date. Additionally, he's been charged with robbery and illegal use of a firearm, both on the 16th of December last year. Mitchell appeared before Magistrate Bernadette John in the District C Magistrates Court. He is scheduled to reappear on the 31st of March. And that's a look at news. Until now, we'll have more news on TV8 coming up at 12 noon. Morning Barbados comes back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar microbiome probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I think we all love to travel, don't we? Don't we all love to travel? We love to sit at the airport, we watch the planes land or take off. We get excited whenever at the notion of traveling, sitting in a seat and taking off to experience places and new cultures and people and have wonderful experiences. Kristen Whitley, that's what she does too. And so she's done so for a little while now, but she has formalized her travel, and you had a little bit of fun in what you do as well. Kristen, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you are more than welcome. Welcome to Barbados.
Thank you.
Is this your first trip?
No, actually it is not. We've been here this may be trip number 3 or 4.
Oh, you're one of us.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Well, thank you.
You're one of us now.
Thank
what takes you into the world of travel in the first? What got you involved?
Well, what got me involved was the fact that there's a lot of world out here to see. We didn't want to be confined to just what was in the U.S. We started traveling probably, my husband and I, when we got married. That was after the honeymoon, it was every year like, let's go somewhere new, let's go somewhere new. And then when we had kids, we started off doing the traditional thing that everybody does, which is buy Christmas presents and spend money on things that they don't use. Yes. By the time they were, middle school age, 10, 12, we decided enough of that. They're not going to play with these after the first week, so, let's figure out something else to do. And that first year, we decided to surprise them with boarding passes to Las Vegas, and we took them to see the Michael Jackson 1 show. Wow. And after that, it became a tradition. Every year at Christmas, we decided we would go somewhere new, do something different. We've been doing it over 13 years now.
That's fantastic. I'm an adult. If I'd gotten that boarding pass to see the Michael Jackson concert, I would flip as well. Yeah. But travel means a lot to you. What does travel really mean to you? What does it do for the individual?
It gives you a time to relax, to rejuvenate, a time that you can just refocus sometimes your energies on and get perspective on life. It's also just building memories. Like I said, we do it with our girls, and we have so many pictures and memories of things that we've learned and experienced together, and giving families that time to bond and to unite. It's something that just feeds your soul, and many of us don't get an opportunity to do it. A lot of people don't even have a passport, and it's trying to ingrain that into them. There's so much beyond just what you see in your local community. You should get out and explore it.
That is such a powerful message for even us in Barbados. I mean, we tend to travel, whether it's just to another island or otherwise, but just to get out and explore beyond what you know is so much more than anyone could show you on a television screen. Right. And I know in America it's a little bit more difficult, because I find a lot of times in America people stay in their town and they don't go anywhere else.
That's true. I mean, I grew up that way. My family is probably, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, metropolitan area, and my family, 5 generations deep, are from Georgia. A lot of that's not usual. Most times people are, their family came from some other neighboring state. But when we were growing up, there was no visiting, grandma and grandpa in Mississippi or Alabama. Everybody was in Georgia. So we didn't travel. My family did not, we didn't take vacations. We were lower middle income, so there wasn't, we didn't go to Disney, even though we were, right there above Florida. But, we didn't do that. And so for us, what we're ingraining in our kids, get out there, do other things. There's so much. People ask, you've been to Barbados already. We enjoy it. We do. You like when you come back to what you enjoy. Yes. But at the same time, other times during the year, we also make sure we travel 2 or 3 times a year, and we try to see somewhere new every time, just for exposure.
So you have no difficulty when your girls say, "Listen, I'm gone. Catch you next week," or whatever, right? That should not be. You won't ask, "Where are you going now?"
No, I wouldn't. I mean, well, I might, because I might want to tag along if it's somewhere I haven't been, or sometimes your kids get to be more advanced than you are, yes, as we see, as time goes on. So they may travel somewhere, and I may ask, of course they're usually asking, "Well, where are you going, and why can't we go?" I want to go. They actually haven't been yet, so we have to make a trip where they can come with us.
With this passion for travel, have you formalized it into a business or anything of that nature?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm an independent travel agent, and I help others, do the same. It's something that we don't realize is an opportunity for everyone. Anyone can do this. You don't have to have a specialized degree or something to do travel. If you have a passion for it, and you want to build a legacy, it's already there for you. You just have to be exposed to it so that you can take advantage of it.
It's interesting how you've taken your passion and made a living out of it.
Absolutely. My motto is travel, earn, and save. You get to do these things, and again, I get to build a legacy for my girls. I named my company for my girls. It's Kennedy Taylor Travel. I named it for them. I didn't have the traditional career path. After graduating from college, and when they came along, I ended up staying at home with them, and so I don't have that pension and career and. But this will build a legacy for them. And it's something that I want to expose more people to.
And so you are also, while using yourself and enjoying Barbados, taking the moment to share.
Absolutely.
With what you've been able to learn so far. There's something coming up. What is it?
I'm having a travel party, a travel meeting on this Thursday, on the 5th.
Tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow.
So if you say it like that, they'll remember tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow at the Hilton Resort Barbados, and we just want to share. I mean, tourism is on the rise. It's the $10 trillion industry. It's the #1 research category online. Everyone's doing it. I mean, it's. If you're traveling or you know someone that is. So it's something that it's not a unique thing. It's something we all have exposure to. And so yes, we will be there sharing about travel and looking to engage with people that want to build a legacy.
Who want to build a legacy.
Yes, absolutely.
Not necessarily just a travel agent alone.
Absolutely.
So it's just, if you want to build a legacy,
yes,
come hear your story.
Exactly.
And that legacy could be in anything. It doesn't have to be in travel. Is that it?
Well, this is specifically about travel. Yes, it is specifically about travel. But it allows you to build a legacy. I mean, it's something that I didn't necessarily anticipate. I didn't start off, like I said, I have a degree in business administration. It was not anything in tourism or anything like that. But to my point, anyone can do this.
Anyone can do this. So anyone can come.
Absolutely.
It's at the Barbados Hilton. What time does it start?
Doors open at 6:15. Starts at 6:30.
Good. So look, folks, look on your screen. First come, first serve. I mean, limited seats are available. So you really need to get on soon. Do we need to register to come?
Yes, that would be helpful. You can register by going to my Instagram at Kennedy Taylor Travel. And there's a link there in my bio that you can RSVP.
All right. So it's important you show up at Hilton Barbados tomorrow for 6:15. The doors will open at 6:30, and you'll spend some time with travel being the #1 industry in the world, learning from this expert who's truly traveled the world, and she knows from her own experience how to build from the bottom up and to make a life and a living through this, because you just want to leave a legacy, and that's all that she's embarked upon. Your girls will thank you for this, Mummy, indeed, in time to come, and we will all thank you too, because it's from your experience we can learn so much more about how to build the legacy. In building your legacy, oftentimes we think of cost.
Yes.
Once we hear building, we think cost.
Yes.
And we stay at home and we thought, it's going to be too costly, so what's the sense of going? What do you say to that individual?
Anything worth having is worth, spending a little on. You have to invest in yourself and in your own future. Nothing is free. Whatever you're doing, it's going to cost you. And so when you spend and build on yourself, then you get the benefit of that. We're used to spending money on other things, shelling out money for something. Invest in yourself, and that's what I've done.
So building the legacy requires that level of investment, which is time, sometimes a little cash,
yes,
community,
yes,
and patience.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've realized that the patience that it takes to learn something is in this industry, it's at your own pace. I mean, everything is online. Things are available to you on demand. You can do trainings. Everything it's kind of manufactured for you. There's opportunity there that you can take advantage of without feeling like the pressure is there, that you can work at your own pace. You don't have to, there's no agenda that says you got to, book this or do this.
Yes.
You move at your own pace, but you find what works for you. And that's also the beauty in it. There's no, quotas about, well, you got to book this many. You do what makes sense for you, for your lifestyle and for your passion, whatever your desire, whatever your goal is.
Would you say legacy requires a dedicated, focused plan, or it just happens as it goes?
It requires intention. You have to be intentional about what you want to do. And if you don't have that desire for yourself, that's fine. It's a choice. It is a choice, but you have to be intentional. If you want a legacy, you have to do something, consistently in order to build it. It's not going to build itself. You have to put in some effort and some work. But you definitely want to make sure that when you commit to something, that you're taking the time, day after day, to pour into that. You don't want to start something and then, part of the thing is finishing a goal. You don't want to start something and then don't finish. So whatever it yields, is up to you.
Even while you're baking the cake, you still check the oven.
Of course.
And that's the whole point. You invest the time and the patience for the outcome that you're seeking. And I'm asking these questions because I want that when people come tomorrow, they can ask you those questions.
Yes.
They can get to know more from you about how you went about what you've done and how you've built this industry for yourself and your daughters, and the legacy that you're leaving with them, and how to encourage others along the way. Because oftentimes, while it might be a one-person operated legacy, you want to leave it for the next, your nephew, your grandchildren, your whomever, but they may not have a similar interest.
Right, and part of the host company that I'm with, there's a network of people. We like to say you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. I have resources of people that will help. I have a network of people that help me. I don't have to do it all alone. They've learned some of the tricks and trades, as have I now.
Yes.
But I can share that with other people, so you don't have to figure it all out. And so that also helps you, to keep going, as opposed to feeling like, this is too much, I can't do this. But there's support. And that's really been helpful for me.
And that's so important to you. And at the stages at which one can start to build legacy, I'm asking that for a reason, because oftentimes as we grow older, we tend to think, I've wasted so much time, I can no longer recapture that time. What's the sense in starting?
Yeah, and I would beg to differ, because, anything worth having is worth compromising and taking the effort to work towards it. And so when someone thinks, I'm too old, we have people in this business that are, Gen Z, but we also have baby boomers. It's so the whole spectrum. Anyone literally that has a passion for it could get involved in this travel industry. It's there for everyone.
And so I want you younger people watching as well to know this is for you too. And you older people, this is for you too. Look at your screen. Look at your screen. You can travel, earn, save. Yes. Travel, as you know now, is the #1 industry in the world. So come learn about an opportunity to build a legacy and earn income doing something that people are doing anyway. And so tomorrow, Thursday, show up at the Hilton Barbados Resort for 6:15. The doors will open at 6:30. And you need to go online to Kennedy-Taylor Travel.
No hyphen. Kennedy, Kennedi. Taylor, Taylor, travel, and that's on Instagram.
Okay, that's where you go. reserve your space. First come, first serve. Limited space available, but this is a space where there's a building. There is going to be encouragement. There's going to be support. You will lean on Kristen, and Kristen will hold you up and show you the way. And so there is empowerment to be gained in that room tomorrow. And the room is available to you. And so you need to show up to grab this opportunity. It's perhaps once in a lifetime you get to learn from this mogul in travel, Kennedy Taylor. And so I want to encourage all of you to really come down and be a part of it. Be a part of it tomorrow. Remember, be there for 6:15, get inside by 6:30, spend the time, make the investment, be patient with self, and you'll see the goodness that will flow therefrom. So to you, Kristen Whitley, thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Peterson.
You're welcome. And thank you for being gracious enough to share from what you know, what you've experienced, investing in other people to come along as well. We tend, as you Americans will say, you pay it forward.
Yes.
That's what you're doing.
Absolutely.
We thank you for paying it forward to us.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Morning Barbados is right back with more after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional being.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have 27 minutes to go to the hour of 8 o'clock this Wednesday morning, this wet Wednesday morning. By the time I could tell you how it goes, by the time I'm done here, it's going to be dry. Everyone who knows me knows I love the wet conditions. So, Lord, please let it rain a little later when I'm done here. But to all of you who are watching, I have something for you, particularly for those of you who are quite young, because there's an opportunity being given to you by two outstanding men, one Barbadian, one American, who are going to create for you a workshop. And a workshop, you know, means you've put in a little bit of work, but to create an opportunity that you should not miss. Carlos Cobham is with me. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Quest International. We know him as talented, hugely talented, and has resources beyond measure. Carlos, good morning. I'm not talking about monetary resources.
Good morning, Pearson.
Good to have you as always. And Terrell Whitley, who is the husband of the lady who we just met, indeed. And so he's the Chief Executive Officer of Liquid Soul and Executive you're an executive filmmaker as well.
I am.
I'm curious about Liquid Soul. Talk to me about what that means.
Sure. So Liquid Soul is my full service advertising and marketing agency. I started 25 years ago. Many people know us in the area of film, television, sports, corporate brands. We're the marketers behind over 300 films, 38 #1s, and 7 Academy Award winning films. And then we've worked with some of the largest brands in the world that include folks like Walmart, Salesforce, AT&T, even ESPN. Marketing, advertising is something that I've been involved in for so long. And then I transitioned even further into film and television production. So I've produced several documentaries and films, won an NAACP Image Award, and continue to do that even to this day.
And that's so important for a lot of people who are in whatever industry to be able to write in your advertising and write in your marketing as well.
Right.
But I'm hooked on the name Liquid Soul for just a second. You know, the soul, some people can't give character or space to the soul, but the soul is.
Yes.
And because it's liquid, it is able to move. It
That's
is able
correct.
to be malleable in such a way that it makes meaning and gives also still shape to what's going on as well. And so that's what you do day by day, minute by minute for all of your clients. And that's why while you're here in Barbados, you're going to be doing for many of people of Barbados as well.
Absolutely. So Pearson, like, I need to give you a check because you got it. You know exactly what it is we do and why it's called Liquid Soul. That is exactly it. Not everyone gets that out the gate, but you understand that how the liquid flows through us, the soul is inside of us, it's what we produce and what comes out of us. And so I'm really blessed to be partner with Carlos. We've been a partner together for many years now. And this opportunity to come to Barbados, it was now for us to spend time and share and really get in front of some young people. I think this is an important moment for young people. A lot of young people are graduating from high school, college. They're looking at the future with uncertainty. And so now our job is to help find them and help them get on a guided path. So I'm thankful to be here, thankful that you understand Liquid Soul, and thank you, Carlos, for this opportunity.
My pleasure.
You're welcome. But you know, Carlos has always been on a quest.
Yes.
And I'm playing on the word deliberately, to be able to move what we sometimes consider to be our little plaything to an international platform for the world to see the value in what we produce here as well.
That's right.
And so he's done so, and I can speak for Carlos on this one, over a number of years in introducing us to people like yourself, people who are from outside, who have experience and the skill for us to be able to take it where we think we need to take whatever that it is. That it could be in music, it could be in film, it could be in performance, it could be in so many of the other component parts of the industry. And so Carlos, talk to me a little bit about not just who Carlos is, but Carlos' passion for what you do.
Sure, indeed. A pleasure for having me today. Thank you so very much, Pearson. My passion lies with youth, arts, and God. That's what I have been doing over the years. I just try to use what God has given me for His honor and glory. And I'd love to just share, you know, what God has put on my heart. You know, I've studied at the New York Film Academy, studied at the University of the West Indies here in Barbados as well, also at York University, Toronto. Had the opportunity to be on a couple sets, such as Black Lightning, American Soul, and even Tyler Perry sets as well. And I just love to, you know, continue to share, you know, those experiences, and would love to produce a movie. I won a short film competition that was offered to the Caribbean for the very first time. It's called Enter the Pitch, and that year I would have entered. I was fortunate to represent the Caribbean. You know, they flew me up to the UK. I got to meet Jackie and Mark Blanley of Footprint Films, also Nick Park from Wallace and Gromit, who also would have shared with some of the youth in the past through Quest Summer Arts program. And I'm happy that Mr. Whitley is here now to share, you know, through Liquid Soul. And of course, we have in as well Mr. Leif Hartwig he's from Wealth VP, you know, educating about becoming investor ready. So he's into the fintech space. Yeah, so I'm just elated to share with the youth of Barbados, and not just youth of Barbados. We're encouraging youth across the world to join online as well through Empowered Lifestyle Network, ELN, or Zoom. And then also in person, it will be at Sky Mall Conference Room this Saturday coming up, and it will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they could feel free to register online at questinternational.com, KWEST international spelled out.com.
I'm going to get back to that in more detail in a minute. But I have to get back to something else you said, because God gave you a talent.
Yes.
God did not stop when he gave you your talent. God has given each of us a talent. And he starts with just one, or maybe more than one, but he asks of us, as he did in the Bible, do something about it.
Yes.
Right. You now do something about it. And you are doing something about it now. You're doing by creating a space and then continuing to do so, an avenue for people to use that talent. Don't just, as the foolish ones did, she kept it right there and said, oh, well, I'm afraid to use it because if I lose it, I can't give him back his talent. And all the while, we want you to grow your talent. That's why I gave it to you in the first place. And so your appeal is to young people to take their talent, bring that talent to the workshop on Saturday, and be exposed to what needs to be to create that fertile ground on which they will grow.
Indeed, indeed.
Am I reading you right?
That's right. I'm also trying to see if we could get my buddy that was on the record Transplant remix that we did. That was Canton Jones. He's featured on my record. Trying to see if we could get him on virtually as well for our young people.
Man. And so this workshop on Saturday then is for any particular talent?
16 to 35 in that age range with respect to talent. We're encouraging for music, film, and business.
Yeah, but I think it's important that they really come out and be present. There's one thing to hear us and be on Zoom. I'm going to be talking about what it means to be in Black Panther, what it was like to work with Chadwick Boseman or Michael B. Jordan, Will Packer, Tyler Perry. I'll talk about what it's like to if you have the desire to be an artist or a producer, or even if you want to be an executive. I've worked with those major brands of Walmart and what it means to walk in those halls and those rooms. But from Barbados, I want them to know it's possible. It's possible, and it's not as far as you think it is. It's just a matter of having something strategic, having some people that'll pour into you, and then making sure they understand it's for you to pour back. So being in the room is most important. I want the room packed. We got a lot to share, and I think sharing it will help them as they begin to transcend to the next level.
The film industry is not just the script writer alone or the filmmaker. There's so many areas in film. And so I want people to see that skill in particular and not focus simply on the script writer or the person who operates the camera. But if you're into sound engineering, into costuming, to makeup, and all of the artistry that supports the industry, this is for you as well.
Yeah, correct. There's so many companies, whether you're in the fashion, like you said, costume. Ruth Carter has been nominated for an Oscar. If you're in editing, if you want to become an editor, many Black editors are stepping forward. If you're interested, even if you say, listen, I want to start the creative process and understanding the writing and the storylines and the script writing, great, let's have that conversation. Of course, actors and directors and producers, which are what people usually hear and see, but there's a litany of other opportunities. Even if you're a baker and you're someone that likes to cook, craft services is massive, and we would love to have more Barbadian food on set.
Oh yeah, bring it on.
So I think those things are important, but if you don't know, you don't know.
You don't know. And so to know, this Saturday, online is at questinternational.com.
Yes, where they can register.
Or in person upstairs Sky Mall, in the conference room at Sky Mall.
That's right.
And it starts at 6.
Well, no, starts at 9 a.m.
Oh, it's a morning session. Pearson, look at the screen. Folks, look at the screen. It's a 9 o'clock session, early o'clock in the morning, just a few hours. It will be streamed. And so, yes, you can have the benefit of watching it online, but there's a greater benefit of watching it in person.
Yes.
Because now you rub shoulders literally with other creatives like yourself, but you get in person to have that one-on-one with Mr. Whitley. And you know, after the cameras have turned off, of course, we continue the conversation. And that's why this is so important. It's a workshop. That means come prepared to put in some work.
That's right.
This is not a sit lecture and you talk to me, clap at the end of it all, and we all go home. It's a workshop.
That's right.
So what would you want people who come, knowing that, prepared to do?
Well, just come with an open mind. Come with your creativity, you know, and I enjoy working with youth because they're the future. You know, so I just would like to create a space where we learn, create, and produce, and then also a space for mentorship. That's also something that we're looking to implement. So not just this event, we want to hold your hand along the way, coach you, you know, and learn from you as well.
I would also say bring a pad and paper, take notes, have your phone, take notes and pictures. This is also an opportunity to network. Sometimes people think, if I could just work with this person, if I could just work with Carlos, or if I could just work with Terrell, that will be my opportunity to take off. Interesting enough, your greatest asset might be in that room.
That's right.
So your ability to connect with the next person, and the next person, someone that wants to be an actor, the next person wants to be a director, this person wants to produce, I'll tell them immediately, let's talk about what project you guys can go do. Let's do something here. So your resources might be right there available that day. So being in person matters.
Being in person matters. Don't miss this opportunity. I want to know more about you. Well, we'll do that right after this break. We're right back with more as we meet these amazing people who will be providing you with an opportunity in a workshop this Saturday from 9 in the morning, online but in person, upstairs Sky Mall in the conference room there. But who is Mr. Whitley? We'll talk to him in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Terrell Whitley is a filmmaker. Terrell Whitley also is a chief executive officer of Liquid Soul, an advertising agency, a marketing agency. He is just an all-round creative. As we took the break just now with Carlos Cobb, we were talking a little bit about being in the room, because in that room is your next opportunity. And I always want to know from you, Terrell, about your journey. Did you find an opportunity, or was this something you created all on your own?
Well, I absolutely walked into an opportunity. It started actually in college with my fraternity brothers. Remember I said earlier, sometimes your best asset may be right next to you. Well, these two guys, Will Packer and Rob Hardy, they shot a great film. It was called The Gospel. And they asked my company at the time, we were very small, they said, hey, would you guys help us do the marketing? We said, absolutely. We hadn't done a marketing for a film, but it was exciting. It was about the gospel music industry. It was a faith-based film. We took that film and we blew it up. Wow. I mean, and now the great thing was we were intentional about everything that we did, because these were my fraternity brothers. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha, and I wanted to make sure their film was successful. Well, what happened from there is the opportunity that opened up for me. Their film was successful in the box office, and then the studio offered Liquid Soul 6 more films. Wow. And they said, wow, okay, you guys have a model that we can really step into. Well, from those 6 films, all of those films that we worked on, we either #1 or #2 at the box office. They let me put out one press release, just one. That one press release exploded. And Disney called with The Princess and the Frog. They called us about Red Tails. They called us about Precious, the movie Precious. And these are Academy Award winning level films. 12 Years a Slave, Notorious, Secret Life of Bees, Dark Knight. And then we got into the Marvel space, and ultimately they called us about Black Panther. So it's many times that mustard seed, that small first touch, that can really begin to replicate itself over time. But I do know it requires a level of diligence. You have to be very crafty to say, I want to make sure I deliver on my craft at a high level and people recognize the value that I bring to the table, but then ultimately be open and focused on the opportunity. So we're real grateful. The opportunity did open up for us. From there, we became the agency of record for NBC Universal, as well as Warner Brothers and even Fox Searchlight. So when I say I've worked in the industry, I've worked at the highest of the highs, the middles, even the smaller studios, and even the funny part, those smaller studios like a A24, now they're becoming a big player. So for people that come out to hear these stories and to talk about it, I think they get really intimate knowledge around, okay, what does it take? Where do the opportunities come from? Where can I look for them? But how do I make sure I take full advantage?
How do you deal with self-doubt? That's a killer for a lot of people.
It is. It's tough. So number one, prayer. I think you have to ground your relationship with God. Don't let people fool you. That is not important. That is critical. That's number one. I think number two is surround yourself with a village of people that will pour into you positive energy. Words have the power of life and death. So it's important for me to have people that are always talking life. You can do it. That will encourage me, that will help me mentally, emotionally. They will make sure that I'm on the right path. And I think three is really being dedicated. At that juncture, it's on you. So you have to wake up every morning and you have to adjust your attitude and you have to put in the effort. Now, I'm blessed that I have a wife that also stays very close to my side, and I have two wonderful daughters that also say and support and push daddy. I do the same for them. And I think that's important to figure out who is your unit, who are the people that are in your corner. Take care of them and let them help you.
Affirmation. And so that affirmation comes from God, but affirmation also comes from those within your circle.
Absolutely.
And that's so critical, folks. I've been talking about this forevermore, I swear. And so, Carlos, I know that's also been a part of your journey as well. The affirmation that comes from your community of like-minded people who are sometimes not afraid to say to you, Carlos, I think that's not the road to take.
That's right.
Perhaps this is the other road to take, and for you to trust them sufficiently as you did, particularly with your brothers in your fraternity, to say, "I'll trust you and your opinion because you look out for my better interest." But sometimes we're not able to discern that honesty as honesty. We sometimes see it as jealousy and derisive. How did you find that space within to be so discerning that you're able to see the truth in what was told to you, even if it didn't sound like what you wanted to hear?
I mean, sometimes you learn the hard way, I'm told. But discerning, I guess, that comes from the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Everyone has their opinion, but at the same time, I depend upon God's voice on any circumstance. And if God says X, it's X. I don't question God. Even if it looks impossible to me, if God said that this is what it is, this is what it is. And if it is that God says, hey, yeah, listen to so and so, then I need to listen to so and so.
Right. There's a lovely song, If God Says Yes. Only if God says yes.
Yes.
And I know sometimes you find your inspiration in all sorts of spaces, whether it's in the leaf that just blew by or the song that someone just sang. And I don't want young people of Barbados to miss this opportunity, folks. We're not talking because we have mouths and ear and breath and a tongue. We're talking because we believe in you young people, 16 to 35 years old, that this is an opportunity that you need to grab hold of. You know your passion because we see your passion. Right. A lot of you use that passion and display it on social media. Sometimes for good, sometimes for bad, but it's something there. And that's what we want to be able to harness and use for good, and to create for you an opportunity for you now to really build from there. This community at this workshop on Saturday is built just for you to be able to do so. You stand on shoulders of people like Terrell Whitley and others who are going to be a part of this workshop as well. Look at your screen and you will see the vast experience that will be showing up for you. You need also to show up for yourself at this workshop on Saturday. And we can only talk to you. It is for you to make that decision today to come to the workshop at 9 in the morning. The early bird always catches the sweetest worm, so get there early. And you know, Skyball, how do we get upstairs, by the way?
Right. So I don't want to give some promotion right now, but I was just going to tell them, you know, the side that Burger King's on.
Come through there. Come through there.
You come through there.
That door will be open for sure.
Yes,
come through there and ask how to get upstairs. And you go upstairs. It's very easy. There's an elevator that can take you upstairs, or you can take the stairs as well.
That's right.
And so this is one where you have to show up. Should we bring, Terrell, some examples of the work we've done so far? Would you be able to take a look?
Happy to evaluate things, bring some of your work, even if it's just on your cell phone. But I do encourage people, take notes, be intentional. And as you said, the discerning part of it, search yourself. Make sure this is an opportunity for you. I'm here in Barbados, and I'm not always here. I'm thankful that I'm here with friends. I'm actually here to rest and relax and engage, but this is also a time to share and pour into our young people. So I want to thank Carlos again for the wonderful opportunity. And to you, Pearson, I mean, Mornin Barbados, thank you so much for spreading the word to make sure our people know there is an opportunity available for them.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. QuestInternational.com.
Yes,
is the website. KWEST International. Look at the spelling on your screen. That's where you go and you can register to watch online and just be a part of it indeed. And thanks to all of the partners who are working with you, Carlos. I know sometimes it's hard to crack that nut that says believe in me. You know? But you're doing well. You have not tired at all of this. What is it that keeps you going for real? Because I know that you've been in this for a number of years now, and you have not stopped.
Yes, thank you. I'd say my passion and faith in God, of course. Without faith, you know, it's impossible to please Him. You know, so I just believe God, and you know, vision takes time. You know, so, and great things take time as well.
Yes.
So,
but you're always closer than what you may think.
That's true.
Yeah, you're always closer. It may be right around the corner. So, again, we spent a lot of time together, and this was a great opportunity. This is our first time meeting in person.
Yeah.
So this was perfect for us to get together, and I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I'm also impressed by Carlos and his focus, laser-like focus in what he's seeking to do. And as I said, not giving up.
Correct.
Because that's not an option. Giving up is not an option. As you said, Terrell, it's perhaps a lot closer than you think it actually is. Can you imagine you've come almost to the finish line, you thought it was still so far away, and you gave up and someone else beat you to the finish? That you will beat yourself up for. So don't beat yourself up. I want you, parents and guardians and caretakers and friends of, if the little one, the younger one is perhaps at college at the moment, I want you to share with them what we've just spoken about. I want you to invite them to watch the show again on our YouTube or Facebook streams, or watch it again tonight. You know, because there is an opportunity that is being created just for them, 16 to 35 years old. If you are already in a job in which you're frustrated and you are just so passionate about making film or being a part of the film industry in many, many different ways, whether providing the craft services as a baker of drinks and those kinds of things, this is also for you. Don't sit in frustration at your desk. Live your life, live your passion, live your moment. This moment is not to be missed. This moment should not be overlooked. We don't know, because it's just as close as Terrell said, right there around the corner, and you may miss that opportunity. Don't miss it. QuestInternational.com is where you go to log in and to register. Show up at Sky Mall from 9 o'clock in the morning until 1. It's just a few hours, 4 hours of the day to make a difference. 4 hours of a day to make a difference in you. And so that's what is most important. So I encourage all of you, 16 to 35 years old, to grab this opportunity. I'm well beyond that age bracket now, so it's not for me. But nonetheless, had it been available for me, I would have been there. And I want you to be there as well. Thank you, Carlos.
You're very welcome, Pearson.
Thank you, Terrell. Good to meet you as well. I wish success for this project.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Beijing Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor. As he
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
And I really want to thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday morning, folks. You have been fantastic. I wish you only the very best. My little crew joins me in saying to all of you, have a wonderful Wednesday. Be it the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.